And welcome back, everyone, to this episode of the Mistaken, our Curse of Strahd game. In the last episode, the party visited the cairn of the champion of the Whispering Wall and got a cool harpoon for Octavian, made of blood. They then visited the Golthius tree, completely ruined my encounter idea by starting the combat way earlier than I was intending in a far greater distance. Um, but still,
Thanks,
lessons
Sigma.
learned. Um, almost got their paladin almost died because of evil plants, but eventually they managed to deal with all the evil plants and got a hold of the first of the 3 seeds of the Fanes. Unfortunately, I got no fucking clue how to use it because they need to know the name of the spirit associated to the Fane, and none of them know who it is. However, they were given perhaps a few slight hints by the fact that seemingly the regaining this Fane unlocked additional pages in Strahd's journal, providing them with at least some hints in the text or some ideas. But they still didn't manage to come up with the name, so now they're trying to decide what to do next. And that's where we'll go in, and I'm not going to take you to the map because it seems kind of pointless, so I'll just stick on the landing page. So,
I believe we ended just after Sigma communed with the
yes, you
Thing.
did commune with the seed and the spiritual energy a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably you would probably get at least a last messages, that sort of thing. If you wish to walk the path of the dead, you may only open it once my name is said.
Mm.
So
Well,
yeah.
So we have the seed or the item that the wizards or the ravens had sent us after.
Yep.
I presume if we look around, there isn't too much more here.
No, I mean you had to look around the various areas, and it looks like any corpses, etc., have been stripped bare as part of whatever rituals went on here. And I think the one thing you notice, being a monster hunter sort, is that some of these bodies that seem to have been almost, and actually, I think I will actually go to the map quickly. Where is my map? There is my map. As you can see, there are various bodies that are almost like grown into the side of the tree. One thing you noticed is that some of these were clearly the remains of undead creatures, whereas a majority seem to be the remains of what would have been living creatures. Yes.
Sigma would step down from it and tell everyone about the vision that they had when communing with it.
Would it be okay if I make like a religion or something check to see if any of this is resonating with Katia at all? Like if any of this is familiar to her? as something she might have read in a book at one point or something?
No, this
Okay.
is ancient knowledge beyond anything you would have read. Even you think, as I think we said, there's a possibility some of this information might be in the libraries of Kresk, but it would be in the parts of those which you weren't allowed to read because of your position in the order at that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Think like the forbidden section in Harry Potter, but for example.
Like the books are there, but she was not allowed to read them. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Or they might be there. You don't know for certain, but there's knowledge there that would be older, more restricted, and if it's about a previous godlike spiritual being, that would probably be the sort of information that would be restricted by your order to only the chosen few. You've probably
She-
seen the abbot go in there maybe a few times.
The abbot?
But yeah.
Are you
Yes.
sure? I'm guessing
Yes.
before he was sealed up.
He isn't necessarily sealed up, you just didn't see him very often.
That's kind of the point of the abbot, though. Of an abbot, though. Oh. I don't know. All right. She'll mention that, being like, I heard of something like this, but I was actually forbidden to learn this sort of knowledge. But there are books in Crest. It was in the. I guess I wouldn't say forbidden, but I guess forbidden would be the right word to use in a situation where I was. It's not public knowledge, but there are books there that might pertain to some of this this stuff.
We should head there after the dinner. We should make our way back to the the Wizard and the Wine. We can deliver we can take the shipment to the Blue Water Inn
Okay.
and regroup in Vallaki.
She'll nod.
That makes sense to me.
Right. Okay, so you guys are going to travel back to the Wizard of Wines. I'm going to just take you to that. Actually, I'm going to check that map quickly.
Before we
Just in
sort of
case.
before we sort of leave, James, can I look over the hand axe that I picked up?
Yep.
Right, see if there's any markings or do I feel anything coming from it, that sort of thing.
It just seems to be a fairly old axe.
Mhm.
Nothing overly special about it that you can tell. In surprisingly good condition, but possibly just when it was made, it was quite well made, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but other than that, nothing special about it.
All right.
I suppose. Someone roll me a d20.
Do that. Oh,
That's a 10. You'd obviously be traveling by the road, so will anything happen? Let's see. Nighttime road, because it'd be late. No, you're fine. Your journey goes uneventful.
Thanks.
The mist's thick and beginning to get thicker as the night draws in, and you can see twisted shapes in it, almost like claws reaching out to grab a hold of you, but it's just the mist forming weird eldritch shapes.
Okay. If it is getting late, then we may need to stay in the Wizard and the Wine.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
It's
early
to-
morning when we left to Jester
it
Hill?
was.
Yeah.
It was.
It was
It
only
was.
early morning.
Like we had left
It
early
was.
morning to go to Yester Hill, and then it
Mhm.
was
Let me
like
just
We should be able
check
to make it
my.
to the end.
Let me just remind myself the time. So it was about 3.5 miles there, 3.5 miles back. You had some combats there. You had obviously some sort of walking about moments. And remember, Yester Hill itself is massive.
We had a
Um,
short rest as well.
Yeah. Let me just check.
My hit dice are down to 3 of 6. So we've short
Is at
rested at
normal
some point.
pace, you can travel about 24 miles in a day. But that's so you've done probably 7 miles, used like an hour. You're probably fine. I'll say it's getting into the afternoon, but if you but again, because it's Barovia, the night's drawing early, so
Yeah.
it's not exactly
By like 5 p.m. it's pitch black, sort of thing.
yeah. Yeah.
You think we could make it to Vallaki if we were to leave now, or do you think it'd be?
Yeah, with if you're transporting a wagon and it's got horses and you're not you can probably get there fine. Um of
Okay.
course it depends how long you spend in the Wizard of the Wines, I will say, because there might be stuff you want to do here. I don't know.
That is
I don't.
I mean, if they've got like a library here or some books,
Yeah.
we might be able to find some information here. They're an old sect.
As you return, a raven flutters down from one of the trees and shifts into the old man and goes, "Well, you're not dead. And you don't look like you're druids in disguise. Well, apart from you, you're actually a druid, but that's beside the point.
You didn't think to
well.
warn us at all?
About what?
He was there.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't know either.
I mean, didn't you see the flaming comet go across the sky?
We thought it was a flaming
Yeah.
comet.
Oh yeah, you're not around these parts.
That was him?
Yeah, that's Bucephalus's trail through the mists when he decides to, for whatever reason, ride a horse rather than just appearing like he can do.
Of course he does.
Why we don't say his name too much, because he could just manifest from the mists. Could be right there now. I'm watching you, mists. I'm watching you. No, I think we're fine. Let's sit over
Yeah.
there. No, we're fine.
I'll produce the crystal.
Ah, you got the seed of the mountain fane, I see.
in the
Yeah,
cup.
we had a slight issue though.
Yep.
What's her name?
Whose name?
The Mountain Thane.
Oh, she had a name? I just thought she was the mountain thing. Well, Mountain Fane is more a place of worship, so it's the spirit of the Mountain Fane, I guess, would be more accurate. But
We're gonna need to read some books.
yeah, I mean, there is one guy here who might have some information.
Mm.
I mean, he's still trapped in a barrel where you left him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, druid who's trapped in a barrel.
Yeah, we've fed him once, I think. Just sort of looks off one of the ravens who just shakes his head. Okay, we haven't fed him, but he could
Oh my
probably
goodness.
cast. I mean, it's only been like a day. He could probably cast good barrier. No, we stopped him from casting, didn't we?
I can
You-
throw a berry at him.
You go feed him. One of the ravens just flies off. Right. Right. You guys look a little battered, but talking shouldn't be too strenuous, I hope. So I'll just lead the way. We've been getting ready to send the latest shipments to Vallaki and the Vistani camp nearby. We decided we'll hold off on the Kresk one for now, just in case you guys needed it. Because Kresk don't like visitors, so
Appreciate
need a
it.
bribe.
Though I,
Uh,
I used to live there, so I might be able to get us away in. I guess.
maybe, but
Yeah.
kind
I
of
don't know.
dicks, so I won't
Wine helps.
lie. Wine helps. Stops people whining.
I don't think anyone would be quite capable of keeping me out of some place I wanted to go.
Me too.
I mean, if you want to piss off the abbot, sure, sneak in, but I wouldn't.
The abbot's a friend of mine. Sort of.
And then there's
So-
that strange woman that I've seen about. She's scary.
Strange
Woman?
woman.
Yeah.
What woman?
Woman with a red hat. It's all that the Ravens have described her as. Red hat. Scars.
They're just gonna look questioningly at Sigma as if a friend of yours.
Mhm.
Would that fit my mental image?
You can yes. Hmm. You know, thinking about it, it's almost the same color of red as your tie. No, actually, it's a bit darker. More like a wine red, I think was the right term. Maybe. I'm not good with colors.
Yeah, Octavian, you look at Sigma and you would see that the hair on the back of their neck is on end.
Oh, and one of the ravens whispers in his ear, "Oh yeah, and her hair is the same color as your fur." That's probably another distinctive thing. You don't get a lot of that sort of off-white sort of color. You don't get white very often, but unless you're old.
Sigma?
Yeah, Sigma is just standing there, like a gape. You would see that like they are both not moving, but also they're shaking.
Yeah, Octavian just like goes straight up to him, sort of put his arm around his shoulder, just try and sort of get him to relax a little bit and just calm.
Yeah,
Thank you for telling us.
yeah. Davian just sort of walks over to Greed and whispers in Greed's ear, "Did I say something wrong? They seem really put out." I don't know if Cam's actually back.
I do not think so. Does my 15 passive perception pick up him whispering this?
Probably.
I just sort of look over and go, acquaintance of Sigma. Not a good one.
Well, this is a place full of shit, so you're probably going to run into the worst people you know.
Yep.
Fortunately, I haven't run into my ex-wife. She's a bitch.
Your ex-wife?
Another raven?
Nah, she was a crow. Thought she was a raven, but I'm really, really not good with birds. In more ways than one.
You just get a chuckle out of Octavian.
But yeah, let's let you go interrogate a druid, and then I guess you can deliver the wine, get whatever rewards you want, and
Does he
this
want to
way.
leave the seed with us? Because I thought they wanted us to retrieve it for them for something.
Oh, hmm. I mean, ideally, we'd like the seed back, I would say, but um, obviously, it's not exactly the safest of places at the moment. We're kind of still cleaning up after that, and clearly it wasn't safe here previously. So
We could
if
take
the
it to
druid, Hmm.
we could take it to the cathedral in Vallaki.
Yeah, if the druids want it, then it's probably best to be somewhere safer than here. And hopefully, once you've done whatever you need to do with the name, maybe its power will be even better, and we won't need super magic to grow things here. But I'm hoping.
Let us hope.
Hmm.
That's the only thing we have
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. And can't even get sheep from Kresk anymore. It's a real pain in the butt. I like my lamb.
Why is that?
I don't know. They're being dicks about it.
Lamb is very good.
Mm. A little bit of rosemary, some nice sprigs of mint. Red wine sauce.
You show the lambs from where I've been 3 or 4 times the size of what you get on this plane, and the meat is just it falls off the bone.
Yep. And couple of the
Okay.
ravens in their were raven form pull out the druid. Just sort of hold him there. All right, he's all yours. I'll just I'll go supervise the wine. Why have we left a corpse here? Go away.
Thought I burnt the
Just sort of,
corpses.
it's just, yeah. Apparently we missed one. He just sort of kicks it away and just like, eh.
Where's the door?
There's a door here.
There's a lot. I really went the long way round.
Yeah, I mean, you're a druid, right? How are you getting lost in a place? Well, I guess it's a building. You're probably not used to buildings.
I'm 9 feet tall.
Yeah,
I have to almost
and
like bend over in half to walk around in a lot of places.
I once saw a squirrel beat up a badger, but I don't go bragging.
I like this old man.
Right. Yeah, the druid's just sort of there. Ah, the wandering adventures return, and I guess my friends have burned.
Did we burn the corpses?
Yes.
No,
We burned all.
you fire,
Yeah.
you fireballed at least one of them.
Yeah,
When we were
yeah.
leaving, we burned the corpses afterwards. So yeah, he did.
Then yes, yes, they are. They have been burnt.
The queen will be most displeased, especially now that you have the seed.
Seed? What seed?
I can sense its power amongst you.
Damn it.
There are very places of that where it will be beyond view.
What's the name of the Thane of the Mountain? Or rather, the spirit.
To
Or
know
whatever.
the name is to know the thing, and to know the thing we would surely sing, but to know the name we do not, for that information has turned to rot.
Ah,
There are few who have lived since those ancient days when Thane were worshipped in the ancient ways.
He doesn't know.
hmm. Well, bind and gag him. We're going to probably have to put this one in jail unless we want to kill him.
Mhm.
Mm,
Second. Mm.
Why must she
5
always
remain
think
who
of it?
might know. But answer, I do not know.
who are the 5?
The Queen, the Devil, and the 3.
Who are the 3?
The 3 closest to the Queen. One who I am sure you have probably seen.
Coven.
Hmm.
I
You're,
already smell the scent of them upon one of you.
you're on about the hags, aren't you?
Hags they may be to some, but to others, they can be much more fun.
We've got to go deal with that woman, haven't we?
The windmill.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with 3, you will truly bring down the wrath of the Queen.
Isn't the windmill just near the windmill another site?
Based on your map, yes, there is one of the ancient megaliths sites there.
We also own the windmill. We've forgotten that we actually have the.
Mhm.
Do you reckon they'll
the
move
deed
out?
to
Do you reckon they'll move out if you go in with eviction bill?
I don't think they would.
And then there's the third megaliths just over the lake from Berez or Berez.
That near the
Yes.
book, near the other half of the book is over there.
Mm,
No, across the river from Old Berez, south of Arkenboss, there's another ancient megalith site.
Hmm.
so there's one just by the windmill, one across from the river from Old Berez, and then Yester Hill.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope I have been of some use, so you will not turn me into cooked goose.
What can you tell us about the megalith locations and the areas around them?
Near Old Berez, that is the land of the Queen. A place that few who live have ever been seen.
Okay, so go over there. We find out who this queen is. Hmm.
As for the Thane of the Windmill, the Thane of the Forest, guarded by the 3. But I've not really been that way myself. So I haven't really seen.
That's good to know.
Kind of lost my rhyming thing. Oh well. He just shrugs. So much for being mysterious.
Yeah.
Would you rather we
Um,
leave you in this barrel to be fed by ravens, or would you rather that we take you to a prison in Vallaki?
um, hmm. In which one am I most likely to get decent food?
Vallaki.
Probably Vallaki. I mean, what did you get fed here today?
A single ear of corn. I'm not even sure where they got from because they grow grapes here. I have no idea where they got corn from.
Probably get fed better in Vallaki. No offense, as I sort of glance over at the raven.
One of the ravens just goes, "Hey, we like corn. What can I say?"
You ever tried putting it in a pot with a little bit of oil and putting a lid on it?
Do they have like a bag, like a small sack I could put over the druid's head while they're in the cart with us, so they can't cast?
They give you a bag that simply says, "Davian's secret corn stash."
Oh,
Yes,
I-
James, I did try and teach them what popcorn was.
Yeah, one of the ravens just goes, "No, but it's really good with butter."
It's very good with butter and salt.
Mm. This one goes,
Okay.
"I prefer sugar."
I will
Yeah,
first. I'll
caramel.
first gag the druid, and then I will put the sack on his head, and then I will tie his arms together.
Yep.
I want popcorn now.
And then I will take it to the cart and find any place that is a little where he could sit in a reasonable way, and tie him to the cart itself as well.
Okay, so you tie him to the cart. He's all gagged and bound. Davian just looks at the sack and goes, "Oh, I'm out of corn."
You'll have to ask
when
the
you
Vistani.
Well, yeah, when you take one of these barrels to the Vistani, see if you can get any more corn or poppies. A while since I've had poppy seeds.
We'll see
But
what we can
yes,
do.
yep. Anything else I should tell you? Anything else I should tell you? Um,
Any
uh,
anything
anything else
useful?
you want to know that uh we've seen Strahd's butler wandering about a bit more, but actually he tends to wander a bit. He's always going up into the mountains near Yester Hill.
Mm,
You know about the hags, you know about that. I've said about that. He thinks about it. The werewolves seem a bit more active recently, so you probably want to be aware of that. Not very nice. And oh, and watch out for scarecrows.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
Well, you did us a favor, so I'll do you a favor and tell my son he's a lazy good for nothing who should have come and got this himself.
Oh, you're related to the Blue Water.
I mean,
Yeah.
in his defense, he is running Vallaki.
Wait, who is your son?
The owner of the Blue Water Inn, him and his wife.
Oh.
They
Oh,
they own the bar in Vallaki, the pub and inn.
I knew I liked
I
them.
see.
Yeah.
We'll tell him you said hello. And those
Yep.
things as well.
Yep, better do. I'll know. I'll be watching. Oh, someone will be.
You're
We're
welcome.
always watching.
You're welcome to come along, and I'll
Don't
sort of
remind
gesture
me.
to my shoulder.
Mm. No, I'm still gonna clean up this place, and honestly, I don't like to stay too far away from my bathroom at any one point. I'm an old man,
Yeah, that's fair.
and I'm not a bear. I don't shit in the woods.
And that's fair.
Eat my magazines.
I'll
Right,
stick.
and with yep, And with that, you guys head off towards Vallaki, and I would like a different person to roll me a d20.
I'll do
Can
it.
I? Can
Before
I?
we
Oops, sorry, go on.
Ooh, a
Sigma,
17.
Yes.
maybe we should put the seed in this box. This box being the lead covered box we got from the Burgermeister's house.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
the
Oh.
other one.
Not a bad
The
shout.
Wachter house.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
Not a bad
I'll put it
shout.
in the
Yeah.
I'll put it in the lead box from the doctor house.
Right. Someone
s-
roll me
Very-
a d12 and someone roll me a d8.
I'll do the D8.
I got a D12.
Oh no.
Excuse me.
Can I spend an hour, if provided we're not going to have combat, to attune to the harpoon?
We could easily have stopped for a short rest here at
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah, if you want to have a
Yeah.
short rest here, you can.
Can I short rest and attune?
Yes.
Thank God for that.
During this short rest, Katia is
Yeah.
gonna go up to Misha. Can I talk to you about something?
Sure. I don't mind.
Private.
Is something bothering you?
Uh, no, not it. I'll explain, and they're gonna go off like not too far from the group, but just far enough away so they wouldn't be heard. You know.
How? Sorry, Jim.
I just have a question for you.
Yeah?
You are a worshipper of the Morning Lord, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you get your power from your uh devotion, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get my power from the oath I made to him to bring light in this darkness.
That is wonderful. Have you spoken to him? Have you heard his voice?
No, I don't think I have.
I see.
Does that make you doubt my devotion?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No. That's not it at all. It's just
I wouldn't blame you if it would.
no, it's I have it's common amongst those who worship Mother Night to never hear anything. It's almost commonplace, but I think she did talk to me.
That means you're special.
I don't think that necessarily, but the voice, it came out of nowhere and I just knew. Does that make any sense?
In a way, it does. Sometimes you just know what your calling is. I won't pretend I heard the Morning Lord calling me to do his work. I was brought up in the belief that my family was supposed to bring light and hope. Well, you have seen what happened to my family, but it doesn't mean I should stray from that path like they did.
I betrayed Mother Night, and yet she still. I haven't heard her since, so there's a part of me that doesn't even know. if that was even her.
You
It was the day I met all you.
you betrayed her when you met us?
No, I I made an oath to serve her and to serve the church. When I met him, I broke my oath. And yet she's still, even after that. I don't really understand it. I just wanted to get
You
another
can serve your church even from other places. You don't need to be bound to a building to do the right thing for that building. Sometimes you need to leave. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That's it. Thank you. We should get back to the group.
Also, I don't believe you betrayed her just for going to the castle. Maybe it's part of her scheme.
I doubted her existence. Often. I was just told. That's just how it was. But I know now. She is real. I don't know what I have to do with anything, but the fact that I heard her voice the day I met you all, I think says everything. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's get back to the group.
It will be okay. But yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
meet up. You're welcome.
And yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Just be right with you. I'll be amongst yourselves, remember?
When you guys come out to the cart, you guys would see that Sigma's like got it all prepared, but he is not even like his ears don't even twitch towards you guys whenever you guys walk in the room.
What are you doing, Sigma?
Just making sure that everything's in order.
Oh, good, thank you. How far away is Vallaki?
Half a day's ride. It's not too far.
Alright.
I'm sure between Palmar and Irina, the place is shored up quite nicely.
Who are they? You've mentioned both names before, but you didn't go into detail.
Irina is our charge. She's the one who sent the mission to the hunters. And Palmar's a friend. Who makes things.
I hope they approve of me joining you all.
I'm back. Sorry, my router decided to crap itself.
You're fine.
I don't think that they should have anything against you, Lady Katia.
They might. And she pulled up her hand with the ring on it.
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, if we don't tell them, I think it should be all right. I don't really think I want anyone else to really know.
Mm, If you want to hide it, we will, but I don't think that Lady Irina would hold it against you that you were manipulated by him like so many others. She's also stuck in this complicated web of circumstance. She may even understand you. But I know one thing for sure. She does hate Strahd. But he also saved her life.
What? What did you just say?
Strahd interfered when we were attacked by bandits, and one of the bandits made the mistake of harming Irina. Strahd instantly evaporated them as a warning shot.
So,
There.
he goes around saving women all the time, huh?
The way he looked at Irina was something different.
I believe Irina is a special case for Strahd. Remember the book?
Yes.
In the town, there was a man who had dolls that looked just like Irina. It seems a lot of things are connected to her here. In fact, I think I've seen as many depictions of her as I've seen of Strahd himself.
He wants her to be a bride, doesn't he?
He wants her, and oddly enough, I believe that he may have offered us a similar deal if she was the one on the mountain with us in Yester Hill.
I'm not sure if he would have given us a similar deal. I think there would be no alternative.
I, I, uh, I'm sorry. And she'll kind of leave the room or the area they're at, just excusing herself.
I mean, you're probably, I would say, on the wagon, on the
Ah,
way.
yeah.
So,
Sen said room, so I'm like, okay, I guess we're in a room.
This was
Eh.
like I was doing the final preparation at the wagon
oh yeah,
itself.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, probably near the wagon, I guess, getting ready to leave.
Just be like, I'm just gonna go get my stuff. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I'll say that
Yeah.
Sigma has not looked towards anyone like as they've like been behind him talking to them. He's just been like working on like tying a rope or a piece of like making sure the barding is correct and everything.
Yeah. That is fair.
Me and Octavian would basically just have been sort of sat in a corner somewhere attuning to the harpoon.
Yeah.
Getting that all sorted. Yeah. Just ready whenever everyone else is.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Then I'm going to take you to this map as you leave. And you've been traveling a fair way. You can even see Vallaki in the distance. But on the road ahead of you, you see a scarecrow standing on each side of the road.
Mm.
Oh no. Didn't
Okay.
the old man warn us about scarecrows?
Well, to be fair, scarecrows, crows, or rare raven, it would make
Mm.
sense that they see them as a danger, but for good measure, Sigma, can you shoot them?
Would I know about a monster that uses the form of a scarecrow?
You can roll me, I guess, a history or arcana check.
Could I do a nature one to see if I'd know anything?
Nature would also be viable in this case, thinking
Yep.
about it.
I will give it a go.
Okay. No, you've not heard of any such creatures.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my
Mm.
So sorry about that. What a fiasco.
No problem.
Uh,
So,
well,
to catch you up, Cam, the party have just left and have been traveling on their way when they see two scarecrows in the road.
Oh, okay.
And the were-ravens did warn you to watch out for scarecrows.
can I pull out a bolt and
Yeah.
wrap it in some cloth, dip it in some we have some I believe we have a few alchemist fires actually.
Chris Firewire.
Because I believe that we were given a few by Esmeralda.
Yeah, Octavian has them.
How many vials do I have?
As
Funny enough.
actually, do you have
Moving.
any alchemist spell?
I have got it on my sheet, but I know I've had at least one vial all this time.
Okay. As you go to get that vial off,
For some reason, I didn't add it.
a needle is fired towards you to try to knock it out of your hand. It misses, but it's at that point that we're rolling for initiative.
Well, we were at least aware there's
This
a
is
threat.
supposed to be a
so
chill
that's
session, but
fine.
okay.
This should be a chill enough encounter.
Yeah.
I
Always
have
say
vision
that.
on this table, please, James.
On what table?
Oh, sorry, on this map. I've got no vision.
I have no vision either.
Bottom
What do you
left
mean, yeah?
corner.
Yeah, you should be here.
I cannot see a thing. I'll log out, log back in.
I can see, but it's all black. I can only just see the names.
It may need illumination.
Let me relog.
We may need
Yeah,
global
to be
illumination
honest.
on.
Yeah, let me just
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've had to relog to get
Wait.
vision.
Octavian is in there twice.
How is Octavian on my initiative twice? Why are there two Octavians? And why is one called Octavian and one Octavian the Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Removing one of them.
I rolled like a 2. Oh wait, hold on. Don't I roll twice on initiative because of how alert works?
Yeah, but it
You
shouldn't make you appear twice.
Oh.
Maybe
have
that's how it
advantage.
works. But I've given you the higher of the two because
Mhm.
also I am going to remove your starry form of the dragon.
Yes.
and the fact that your Bloodseeker's harpoon appears to have grappled you, which is not how that is meant to work.
No. I'm going to
Um,
assume I still have my level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll roll Katia. Sigma, you're up first.
Sorry, have we had a short rest,
Sorry.
by the way?
Did I go to
Yes.
the
We did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll quickly do that now. I have spells. Yay.
So does Octavian have the Alchemist Fire?
Yes, they do have a jar of it, yes.
Would you mind if I used it?
He'll hand it over
Yeah.
begrudgingly.
So you said it's when he pulled it out. So does that mean I was able to wrap my bow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I apply just enough of the Alchemist Fire to the like as a bonus action? Can I apply just enough of the Alchemist Fire to the rag wrapped bow to set the end of the bolt to set the end of light? Essentially, I'm just stabbing it with the end of the Alchemist Fire.
So I'm gonna have you make a sleight of hand check in order to do so. Because Alchemist Fire essentially ignites as soon as it touches the air, so this is just to make sure you don't burn yourself, Octavian, whilst doing so.
Okay.
You should be fine.
Yeah, I have plenty. I can use my I'll use my feature to add a d6 to that my
Okay.
knowledge of past life. It is a d6.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll make it enough. Yeah, that'll make just enough. So you can take aim. There's obviously a looking needle blight. And then just for those who want a better look at our creepy
Why did
friends.
the animated armor is giving me disadvantage again?
Really? Animated armor. What are
I
you
shouldn't
doing?
have this. I shouldn't have this, as far as I understand.
No.
Okay.
No, animated armor's friendly.
It was hostile. I just changed it to friendly.
Ah. Yep, so you hit and also roll me a d4. The Alchemist Fire damage. Oh, max damage. And so the actual piercing damage of your weapon didn't seem to be as effective as you'd expect. Like it just sort of went through, it left a hole, but less impactful than what you'd expect. There's little reaction, but the fire, on the other hand, seems to do an extra effect. It's, yeah. It didn't like the fire.
Considering it's made of straw.
Let me remind myself something. Yes, it is cellulite. I do not have a fact for that, but let's just give it a fun little thing. It's doing that. To that. And it just sort of, yeah, that's far darker than I was expecting, but yeah, that'll do. Actually, that's probably a bit too big thinking about it. Dear. Set to 5. That's a bit better. As this scarecrow begins to burn. And as it does, seeing that you are potentially a threat, the other scarecrow will take a few steps forward and is going to glare at you.
Oh no.
How big a bonus do you get? Oh yeah, you've got the wisdom build as well, haven't you?
I'm
Plus
a
5
happy
because
with
I'm in range.
And the +5. Ah, it's the +5 that did it. Ah, so close too.
I have a paladin.
Yep, as it tries to. You feel your body begin to seize up, and then Misha's aura washes over you and washes that effect away.
I rolled a 2.
Yep.
The unhittable crew returns once again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at least this time I'll have a chance to actually attempt to hit you with my ranged options. Just sort of. This one. That one's just gonna hold its action, I think, because I think actually it might be able to hit you guys at dis. Thinking about it. Yeah, it can try to hit you guys at dis. Can it try to hit Creed at dis? Just. So why not? It tried. It failed. But it tried. Greed, you're up.
Cool. I'm going to take a couple of steps back. And I'm going to PP this one.
Yep.
Launch him back. And then my second strike is actually going to go for the one up top.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you just blast a hole straight through the head of that one.
hell yeah.
Misha, you're up. That your turn, Misha? I'm gonna assume yes. Katia, you're up.
Okay. It's kind of hard to tell, because my map is like crazy, so it's really hard for me to really move my map now. Just want to Sacred Flame.
Yep, just target and go for it.
This one. Fine. The lag is terrible, so that's why it's taking me forever to do something as simple as cast Sacred Flame.
In.
Did it work?
It's doing something, it's just going a bit slow.
I'm so sorry. For some
it's
reason, my
fine.
computer hates this map.
And this is one of my smallest maps. Like, um,
Oh god, Ravenloft is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah. You actually finished that one off, though.
Oh, I did? Damn.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. That's good.
Oh. And this other needle blight, which was hiding behind you the entire time, is gonna go for a needle attack on greed. Nope. Octavian.
I am going to heft the harpoon.
Mm-hmm.
Upon this hearing the blight behind me, spin round and just shout duck. And I'm going to throw the Bloodseeker's harpoon.
And
Miss,
you miss.
apparently. But it does have a returning effect, I believe you said.
Did I say that?
I believe so. Otherwise, I would never have thrown it.
I mean, it is a throwing weapon. It does not have a returning effect, but
Okay, I'll have to go and grab it. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll just charge up to this one and pick the harpoon up as a sort of hit right in his
Yeah.
face.
it's Scarecrow number 2, which is on fire, is just going to run towards the group. And not knowing how the party is stacked, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go for a D5. Okay. I mean, this could work. Hey, I actually got an effect up on someone. Cool. Misha is frozen in fear by this
Damn,
terrifying glare.
I can't woe it either.
Yes.
Damn.
And you're paralyzed until the end of the Scarecrow's next turn. But Sigma, you're up. Even the famous butcher blades don't seem to be as effective on this creature.
What happens if the Scarecrow doesn't get a next turn?
Then the effect's broken because it's a fear effect and you won't have the target of your fear. Which seems likely. Yeah, very likely. And its body shrivels and burns on the floor, and you are no longer frightened.
And I have one more
Yay.
strike. There you
Yeah.
are.
And that Scarecrow will turn its gaze on Sigma, who nat 20's the save. You leave the Paladin's aura and it's still not good enough.
I'm hunting monsters.
And the monsters are trying to hunt you, but not very successfully. Yay, I hit you.
Very good.
Greed, you're up.
Awesome. Target the one that Octavian is going for. You.
Yep. Ouch.
And go for my original one again. Finish that off.
Yeah. Yeah. You did some heavy damage there. So we'll move on to who's next on the turn. Misha, who is no longer paralyzed.
Okay. Am I muted?
Nope.
No, you're
Okay.
Yes.
I wanna. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna mute myself. I want to cast Armor of Agathis at 2nd level.
Okay.
Ooh, great spell. Great spell.
As this chilly
Doesn't
aura
seem
sweeps
to
around you,
work.
you've got the effect on you. Or is something else meant to happen that I'm not aware of?
I don't see my temp HP activating.
Oh, it hasn't applied your temp HP.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again.
Just gonna look at that spell quickly.
Now it
There it
works.
Odd.
It's probably because it's a racial feature that I recast with spell slots.
Oh,
Fuck, he's
maybe.
just out of range. Nope.
Wow. That you, Misha?
That's my turn.
Katia.
Hi. Sorry. My internet blipped for a second. Um. Thing is being very laggy to the point where I respond to try reloading Foundry because we love Foundry. I, I love having a 10-year-old PC. It's fine. We're fine. I guess I'll say what I want to do. I know that there is an enemy that is down, bottom, like right
Yep.
of me. I want to head towards that to get it in range and just do another Sacred Flame.
Yeah, that can be done.
If you could do that for me, because right now,
Yep.
thank you so much. I'm so
Sacredess of
sorry.
Flames.
The Sacredess of Flames.
Hit fellow needle blood.
Besides, it always does better whenever you roll for me.
I mean, 6 damage isn't the best, but it's not the worst, and I swear that just... Oh, there it is. Wow, even when I'm rolling for you, it seems laggier for some reason. Weird. But that's clearly applying. It's just
There's too much
taking its
backstory.
time. Yeah, the backstory just burns up CPU usage somehow. This needle blight.
It's her heavy armor.
We'll try to claw at Octavian, but fails. Octavian.
Uh,
You did
he
hit
will.
with your Sacred Flame. It's just being really slow.
Yep.
For some reason.
Octavian will
Hmm.
pick up his trident and sort of. He's being very sort of like the way he's moving it. It's very sort of elaborate, like a set fighting style. And he's just going to try and just jab it, sort of aiming for like throat under the chin with it.
Okay. That's a hit.
Question: did I beat its AC by 5?
You killed
Oh.
it.
Oh, damn it.
Big dead.
But yes, you did.
I wanted to test out the slice that it has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next time. Oh, it just takes
Yeah.
necrotic damage equal to your proficiency bonus. That's
Yeah.
fine. And then I'll move up to sort of here. And
Yeah.
that will be my turn.
Okay, which brings us to Sigma's turn, who can probably wrap this up. Particularly if they... Do you want the animated armor to come in and have a swing as well?
Sure.
Yeah, actually can't quite get there, so Bart's added move between turns, so you can just join in and help speed things up.
I'm max rolling damage. I've max rolled 3 separate damage. And here's 4. I've just max rolled 4 damage rolls in a row.
Someone check
Yeah, you did.
his dice.
Well, with that,
They're
the
loaded.
combat is over. But
Oh.
as this scarecrow falls to the ground, a small piece of paper shaped like a human floats out of it and just sort of hovers in the air looking at you all.
And I
Piece of
snatch it.
paper.
Can I snatch it out of the air?
It glares, it seems to glare at you as you attempt to. Managed to touch without permission? Didn't your parents ever teach you those things? Hmm?
Hmm? And what are you?
Ah. Well, that remains to be seen, but I have seen you. Stolen one of the seeds you have. Hmm. And well versed in combat, it seems. I look forward to when we meet.
And where would that be?
Here and there, hither and thither.
Ah. Mm.
But now, I've seen what I need to see. And the paper just slices itself in two and disappears. And if anyone gets the reference, I'm happy, but...
Freaking Shikigamis.
yeah.
Yes.
Close, but it's a specific reference to a specific film. But yes, you have successfully ended this combat and seen, at least Misha briefly, the terror that a scarecrow can bring even when you're not a crow.
I pull out a flint and steel and just set the corpse of this other scarecrow alight after making sure it doesn't have
Yeah.
anything meaningful on it.
Nope, it's just a scarecrow. Terrifying looking scarecrow, but a scarecrow nevertheless. And with that, I'm going
I
to
only
take
failed
you...
that roll because of the exhaustion.
Oh
I
no.
know. Fear can be truly tiring. Or, yeah. Or the exhaustion can be truly scary. I think is the right way I meant to say
Yeah.
that. But yes, with that, you are able to continue on your way to Vallaki. Just gonna put your party token on the map because where's my party token? There's my party token. And then I will activate down map. Come down the road.
Does it look like Palmar has suited up a bunch of the people with like new
As
armor and stuff.
yeah, as you're going down the road, one thing you notice is that the walls look perhaps a bit more reinforced. They're actually more spiked at the top, making them harder to climb over.
Mm.
And as you approach, a guard steps out from one of the buildings, not on the walls, but one of the little buildings nearby, and goes, "Halt! Who goes there? Who approaches?"
Friends of the Burgermeister, we are the mistaken.
I shall have to send a message of your approach to make sure. Await at the gatehouse. Then he indicates one of the buildings, and then
Oh, they've
Um,
showed up good. They've actually stationed people outside for like. This is great.
mm-hmm.
Octavian's just like, I.
Just sort of looks and goes, Giant Hippo Man meets the description, weird monstrous creatures and tieflings, but this girl is unknown. So
Need a
we'll have to
friend.
send for. Yes, but that's what someone trying to break in would say. You could all be in disguise.
Best to be cautious.
Yeah. And he will send a messenger pigeon into the town and just sort of wait with you, a crossbow aimed at you all. But it's a few moments later that the door opens and Irina walks in. Ah, well, welcome back. You can stand down, Philip. I know these lots, and I can tell they're the real deal. Not sure on the other one, but if they're with her, if they're with the group, then that's all the thing I need. They're not going to succumb to any vampiric hypnotism from one girl. And, better yet, it looks like they brought wine, so return to your post, I'll escort them in. Right away. Philip runs off. They do a good job, but some can get a bit overzealous, but I'd rather that than them let people in.
Well,
Hey.
you've done a great job with. What's the word? Training these
Defenses.
people. Defense. Yeah.
Yes.
Town was a mess when we left.
Yes,
Partially our fault.
Palmar's been helpful when he's not staring at that mirror or other various devices, and a young woman named Esmeralda came through and gave us some useful information, and the books you provided, Sigma, are also useful. But introduce me to your friend.
Irina, this is Katia. And Katia, this is Irina. We found them in Argynvost.
Ah, you've been to Argynvost and came out alive. That's impressive. That meets the story that Esmeralda told.
It's
You,
actually quite strange, Irina. And like I presume like we're in the wagon, like talking to Irina, like heading
Yeah.
through town.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
says, "Me and Misha we discovered something that is quite strange and seems impossible, considering our ghost. But meet Katia first. I apologize."
Well, it's an honor to meet you, Lady Katia. I'm sure if this group vouch for you, you must be an asset, so you are welcome to Vallaki.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, we're still a bit worse for wears after this group came through, but it was for the best in the end.
What
Blint,
happened?
How are the citizens doing? Did they recover?
some of them have. Others that were under the effect for a longer time are still a bit worse for wears, but we're working on it as best we can.
I'm sure Father Lucian is making some progress, even if it's not the progress we hope for those that are more
Yes.
affected.
Yes, and little Lucian keeps shouting at them for being overly happy when they don't need to be. Keep threatening to whack them with his flail. Adorable.
Oh yeah, that's
But-
him.
Yeah, he's getting quite good with that thing though.
Oh no, that's
uh,
scary.
Milovoj is refuses to go near him when he's got it out, and Milovoj is like twice his size. So,
Good lad.
but that might be because Lucian keeps threatening to push him into a coffin for some reason.
Of
I
our
think it's
little
just very.
menace.
Octavian's sitting there trying very obviously not to burst out laughing at that. You can
Yes.
hear the escaping sort of chuckle every now and then.
Yes, I would take you directly to the church to meet them, but we should probably get this wine delivered first. The people will be most happy to have something other than water, which we, at this point, are quadruple filtering just to be careful. But
Yes, I wouldn't mind seeing Blinsky either. How is the old man? Well,
he's
not that old, but
Blinsky.
always happy.
Yep, not for the strange reason, just always happy.
Just
Providing
being
he's making
Blinsky.
other people happy. Yes.
Yeah, I need to say hi to Piccolo as well.
Him and
Sigma will
Palma are
make sure that-
responsible for some of the more interesting traps on the walls should people try to climb over in some areas.
What, Piccolo and Belmar?
No, Palma and Blinsky.
Oh, okay. Well, I could
Yes.
see Piccolo assisting in that. So,
Well, some of them are based on Piccolo, so
that makes
there's like
sense.
little monkeys with symbols that can alert people. I said a bell would be plenty, but apparently they wanted something funnier looking.
Oh, fun! It's
Eh.
no Blinsky.
Yep.
How have the Wachter brothers been doing?
Well, they're normally drunk off their asses still, but they've coped at least. They don't seem that distressed over their losses.
I presume they're going back and forth. One's getting drunk while the other does the business, and back and forth.
Yeah, yes, they're at least being sensible. I think once they found out what their mother was doing with their father's body, it was enough to
Sober anyone up.
really bring them onto sight. Yeah. Yes. I will take you to the inn.
Yep.
And
Yes, but on Argynvost, Irina, somehow, in some way, it seems me and Misha are out of place. And not in the way you would expect. Argynvost is... Well, Misha.
My home.
But Argynvost has been... Oh, wait, you mean you're out of place in time?
Yes.
Huh. I mean...
You don't seem that surprised by that.
The mists can do many a strange thing. It's... Some have theorized, Rictavio told a tale of someone who went through a hedgerow and for what was like a day for them and came back 10 years later. So a distortion of time when traveling between what he called planes of existence, I think.
Yes.
But the Vistani have never mentioned it, and they travel between them more. But it's possible when the mist takes people, it can take people from anywhere where the mists roam, including any time. But that's a bit beyond me. That's just but I don't know what that means for you. I'm afraid.
What
I
I
mean,
learned that I received a letter from your house with your symbol when it couldn't have existed yet.
Hmm. Yes. Oh yeah, because you got a letter from the Kolyana family, didn't you?
I did.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's very odd. That would suggest that somehow when that letter was sent outside the mist, it went back in time? I mean, I suppose when the Vistani leave, if they always go back to the past, they wouldn't know that they've gone to the past because it would always be the same space. The only reason you can be aware of it is because you were there and now you've seen it age so rapidly. But I mean, this might mean, as horrible an aspect as it is, if you do manage to deal with the mists and with you know who, then perhaps time will reset itself. But that could mean that you never left, or it could be that you return your home back to its rightful place, but it will be as it is now, and you yourselves will be out of place in time. I don't know. That's wizard stuff. You'd need to talk to. Well, I don't know who
Victor.
you'd talk to about that. Victor,
Oh,
maybe.
Victor might know about that. Yeah, but he doesn't want to
Um,
be interrupted in his studies.
We could check by
no,
him before we leave town.
but yes. Yes. We've reached the inn. So let me put you on that map. Which you're probably already on in some way or shape or form, I would imagine. Actually, are you?
We do not. It would.
Oh, fair. It actually seems like you're not. That's actually better for me than you being on here. Yes. Oh, let's. Owen actually comes out as you approach, almost like he was aware of you coming, and goes, "Oh, bloody hell! You actually did it. You went and got some wine off the old man."
Yes, he
I've,
said
I've,
he said that you should get off your butt and do it next time, but I imagine that he just wants you to come and visit.
grumpy old git. I'll visit him, but it's been busy and obviously extra busy with everything that's been going on. But right, let's bring the wine round to the side, and
I'll make sure that
we'll get it.
the one marked for the Vallaki or the Vistani remains in the cart as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm sure that he knows that one is marked for them anyway. But
yeah, yeah. So he'll start with the help of his son, start unloading it and putting it back in, and then goes, right then. First of all, come in and have a drink. And whilst you're having a drink, I'm going to go get you your actual reward. And don't
also,
worry, it ain't any meaningless trinkets either.
Also, with the Walker boys, I'm gonna make sure they're doing all right.
Yeah. So he'll head off, and I will remind myself what the loot here is, because I do have loot. But yeah, you're welcome to head in, have a drink, and enjoy yourself. Right.
I'll throw down a few electrum pieces for the walkers for doing a good job lately.
Yeah. All right. So the wife, Danica, pours you all a drink, nods to you all, looks at Katia skeptically, I would say, but doesn't say anything. But after a little while, Erwin comes back and looks about, making sure that the people in here are people he can trust. And first of all, we'll put 3 potions of healing down on the table.
Mm.
And a few, he looks about, meaningless trinkets and puts down 5 pieces of jewelry, each worth 250 gold, each seemingly made of pure silver.
Whoa! 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
250. That's a lot. That's enough
Yep.
to enchant
Wait,
weapons. The holy
That's-
water.
that's a lot of holy water. That's enough holy water to bless, to consecrate multiple weapons.
Yeah, it is.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, just if anyone asks, you didn't get it from here, okay? If anyone finds out that we've been ordering that stuff,
Our lips are
it won't.
sealed.
Yeah. Especially yours. And then he walks off.
Mine.
And
Okay.
but yeah, you have got some jewelry and some potions.
Who
Yay.
would like to hold the potions? I can gladly hold the jewelry until we decide what we want to. But
I mean, split it around, specifically those who haven't got healing abilities.
Above table,
Also,
above table, do we really want Sigma to have any more jewelry?
I don't steal jewelry from the party. I'll point out I've been carrying more money around than the rest of the party because
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. After the situation with the amulet, I'm just like,
The amulet is special.
okay.
It's not because it's a jewelry. It's the first time they actually wanted something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I understand. I was making a joke. I'm sorry.
I did have Alchemist Fire on my sheet. It's in my consumables tab. I have 2 of them.
Oh,
I was looking in the wrong part. I was looking
Yeah.
down in the loot tab.
Yeah. I mean, you've got your 3 potions of healing, so
I mean, I've still got a potion of healing from ages ago, so I'm good.
Greed, do you currently have a healing potion right now?
I do.
Because it's good to make sure that we at least all each have one, if nothing
Mhm.
else.
Yeah, I've got a potion of greater. However,
Okay.
at this rate the fights are going, I'm never gonna need it.
Right, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly.
I can hold one. I haven't got one yet. Katia, I think, should have one just because if our cleric runs out of healing options, whenever they are doing stuff,
they
or
do
they need to
have
get
1
healed.
on their sheet currently.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
Misha and Octavian probably is the other 2.
I mean, I've got one as well, so
Okay.
I think everyone's got, apart from you, Sigma, has at least 1 potion of healing.
But-
Okay.
I say you're mainly getting up front and in combat, you and Misha, so I think it'd be best for you 2 to mainly hold them.
Okay. I
okay,
can.
fair.
I'm sort of flickering between like melee and range. So
Yeah, I could hold 2 and then have the third to Misha, and if we need
Yeah.
to move them around later, we can do so.
mhm.
Okay, great.
I'll hand the silver jewelry to Sigma as well. Go, you know what to do with this. Like my piece of it at least.
Well,
yeah.
I think me and Katia might have better use for it.
Oh yeah, sorry, wrong. Yes, oh
I,
sorry.
I would that's why I was gonna hold it. I was gonna hold it so that you guys could so that we could prepare to enchant something.
Yeah, holy water it or whatever with the piece that I was given,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever
'Cause
you think's useful for it.
Greed, are you gonna want to keep yours, or are you going to put it to the Holy Water Fund?
It's silver. Greed's all about gold.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I'll hand over silver.
Okay. But yeah, I would I'll gladly hold on to it until we need it, since I can move around quickly. So if it's an emergency and I need to hand it off to someone at a distance, or
Yeah.
if something happens and I need to run and find people to rescue everyone else, then I could do so if needed. But
Yeah, so
And Erwin hesitates for a moment and then will walk over and place one more item on the pile. It's a strange lump of metal.
mm,
And
A certain color.
it's just like grey black,
Oh,
but he goes, well, few years back, a star fell from the sky, and this is what was left.
oh! I'll lick it.
Oh,
Not sure exactly what it is, but it
right.
seemed. I thought it was just a regular old hunk of iron, but it feels different. And it doesn't. I've tried heating up in the forge myself, but I've not had any luck.
interesting.
If I pick it up, like I have blacksmithing skills.
Yeah.
Can I look this over? Can I try to?
Yeah, roll me a blacksmith's tool check.
Is it something I would know potentially from my travels?
Yeah, you can have a look.
Yeah.
You could either assist me or you could do it yourself. It's up to
Oh,
you.
I'll assist you because I've got the exhaustion, so I'm like -1 on all my stuff. So I will assist you on this one.
Okay.
Oh, guidance as well.
Guidance, yeah.
There you go. 23 in total.
So this is iron, but it's a bit of a different kind of iron. You've heard of this, known as thunderbolt iron.
Mm.
It is said to be. It tends to come from meteors, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but it, depending on the composition, which you'd only be able to tell under certain preparations, you wouldn't just be able to inherently tell. It can have additional effects, but it tends to, because of its otherworldly nature, it tends to, if prepared correctly, it can work extra well against otherworldly entities. So like certain extra planar, depending on how it's prepared. So by itself, this is probably just enough to maybe make a dagger or maybe a coating. But as you're looking over this, Misha, who is sitting by themselves, over here's the two wolf hunters on the side talking, and just goes, werewolves tend to be bad enough, but that new one, ugh. That one seems better trained. It's less feral and more focused. Never seen. Almost got us with that whip of hers.
What?
Oh,
What?
yeah. It's
Explain. Why were you hunting werewolves? Or
well,
where did you encounter?
We weren't hunting werewolves. We were out hunting wolves for wolf meat, like we normally do. Strayed a bit further than normal because, well, the usual pack seemed to have got wiped out by something recently. So, strayed perhaps into territory we shouldn't have, and got accosted by some. Well, we thought they were wolves at first until they shifted and started walking on their hind legs. And then one of them pulled out a whip, almost took the legs straight out from under me and tripped me, but I managed to get it off just in time, and, well, we ran. Not gonna lie, we can maybe. I thought we'd fight him if we had the gear, but ain't no ordinary weapon hurting werewolves, and ordinary weapons is all we've got.
Well, you should blame the Lord for that.
Yeah, we do, but yeah. If I've seen werewolves with weapons before, they're normally crude, like spears and stuff you could just get together, but that whip was properly made. It weren't made with care by the looks of it. One of the better ones I've seen, to be honest.
Are there any werewolf attacks around town, or are they only in the woods?
Only seemed. Well, we've not seen any for a while. I mean, when that was one of the reasons for the Wolf's Head Jamboree, the last celebration before the Sun one that we had recently, was a successful hunt of a bunch of wolves and sticking their heads on pikes, and we didn't get any attacks for that. And then with the new defenses, it's not easy. I mean, we've seen a couple, but they've not tried to attack. You get close and run, but then again, it's been a while since we've even seen that. Did see one run off with a couple of days ago. Looked like its foot was on, like, hurting it, but and it took off its shoe and kept running.
I see. But yeah, guess that means you should stay clear from that part of the woods.
Yeah. It's a pain, really, because the other side is even more dangerous. I've got
Which
werewolves to deal with. Well, you go.
Yeah, the lake is not an option.
Yeah, you
what's
go.
about south in the forests?
Yeah. Goes too far south, the forest starts fighting back. And you see eyes in the woods. Strange, terrifying eyes that chill the very soul of yourself.
Oh, the
Scarecrow.
scarecrows.
Maybe, but ain't no scarecrows like I've ever seen. And if you go to the other side, well, then you're heading towards Ravenloft, and yeah, we might be brave, but we'd rather face werewolves with no chance of survival than go near that place.
And near Old Barris, that ruined town.
Oh, we wouldn't. You got to get past the ghosts of Arkenvoss to get near there, and then Old Beres. Well, they say the very one of the buildings itself moves there.
But the ghosts of
Sense.
Argavost, they only attack those they see as a threat.
Oh.
They
Still
have
not.
one
I'm
goal,
not.
and that is spiting Strahd.
Well, even if we got past them, I'm not fighting no building, and we don't really see wolves down that way. Snakes maybe, but snake meat don't taste very good. At least not those ones, and there ain't a lot of meat on them. Wolf's really the only sustainable source since those pricks at Kresk won't share their sheep. Used to get one or two every now and then, but they've really hushed up recently. Bunch of pompous, pious pricks.
Hey,
What?
what do you mean by they've been quiet?
Well, you try to go near and they basically tell you to piss off. Unless you got something for them that's worth value, they do not give a damn.
But you said that they regularly give.
They used to. But I don't know what's changed recently, but
How long?
not sure really. It's been a good few weeks, I'd say, since we last had any sheep from them. Yeah. Maybe they got problems there, but what problems they've got, they want to keep to themselves. And they say the abbot there is aware looking at you and sees right through you. Don't know what that means, but it don't sound good to me. I've got enough sins on my shoulders without priests and abbots and all sorts having a go. Yeah.
Apologies. Interrupting.
Nah, it's fine. Always happy to talk to a pretty young miss. Don't see enough of them around here. In rare to see white hair, but meh. We've seen a lot of oddities recently, points at the likes of Sigma and the group.
We even have an
Yeah.
animated armor here now.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
you've
gonna.
got a very, very silent guy in armor now, so your group seems to really be rounding up his numbers.
I'm just gonna look over at these two and go, Sigma's not that bad. With like
Nah.
a smile. With like a smile.
Nah, like we said, he's just a bit freaky looking.
He's alright.
Considering what you guys have done for the town, we'll take freaky looking over normal looking if it means your help.
You would see.
Well, in the end, all will be well.
They shudder.
Oh dear.
Oh, so we'll look at Green and go. Could we go to the Burgermeister's house? I think Palmar was holding up in there because he wanted to look at the mirror.
I think so.
I'm sure he I think he'd be quite chuffed with that, and he'll like motion towards the animated armor. He seemed like he wanted the last one.
He would be studying it for hours if we showed him that.
Doing more than studying it about.
But it would be good to see.
Let me just make sure the map is good, and then I'll take you over to that map. Which, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
the tavern.
Where do we have to go in town?
the
While we're
Burgermeister's
here?
mansion. Well, the old Burgermeister's mansion. I guess it'd be Victor and Palmar's lab now.
And didn't you also say we're gonna go see the Vistani?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Let me take you guys to the next map.
Woohoo!
While we sort of walk down to the Burgermeister's house, Octavian's going to sort of look at Sigma and ask him for a favour.
What is it, Octavian?
If we can get the ability to use the Thunderbolt iron as a coating, would you mind if I had that and put it on any gestures with the harpoon? I've got some business to deal with that aboleth, and every little bit will help.
Well, even if we use it on one of us, the aboleth is not just your fight, Octavian.
No, but if it's the one I think it is, it's what brought me here. It's what killed my crew, destroyed my ship.
If I look over this piece of star iron, actually,
Mm-hmm.
if I turn it and I look at it, is it possible that this piece of iron might be from Octavian's Spelljammer?
Give me an Arcana check.
I will do so. Don't know if I'll succeed, but
So, looking it over and looking at it in more detail, it's hard to tell because if it was something, it's been sort of crushed and compacted. But maybe looking closer, you might be able to see a few fragments of wood in there, suggesting it might have been from something else or parts of something else. But as to what that is, you wouldn't be sure.
Sigma will mention. Did you use steel like this on your ship, Octavian? And I'll like hand it to him to look at as I guess I'm carrying materials, but
Yeah, would I? I mean, I'm assuming I would know every bloody bolt and nail in that ship.
Yeah, so as a astral sea vessel, often traveling to various extraplanar locations, not necessarily the Feywild, but well, you were more in the astral sea, and all sorts of things can bleed into the astral sea from various planes. So you would have had at least some, maybe not your ship itself, but some weaponry and such that might have been tipped or coated, maybe for special occasions.
Yep.
So you like like sometimes of cannons, you've got like the harpoon firing ones to like hit into like something big. You might have had like you might have had something like that tipped with such a metal. In fact, I would say perhaps that's one of your regrets is that when you did sail off for the last time, you hadn't had the opportunity to restock with as much of this as you would have liked, and you probably only had maybe enough for one shot.
Yep.
And unfortunately, one shot wasn't enough.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
possible. In fact, it's even possible that this may be from the very weapon that you shot and didn't quite do enough damage into the aboleth when you fought it.
Mm-hmm. I'll relay all this to Sigma.
If I look at the deformations, like with that information, could I say that maybe this shot had glanced off of something like an aboleth and somehow fallen to this place
Mhm.
from there? Like a glancing shot is what happened. Like the way it's crushed and the way that it's.
It's certainly a possibility, I will say. And I'm gonna give me an investigation check.
Oh yes.
Assist with any of these?
Yes, you can. I'll say you can have advantage on this one. You're basically telling Sigma what to be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So with that, looking real close in on one of those small wooden splinters that you can see, there is an ever so slight amount of what looks like blood, but it's green. So
Does
it's
it?
possible that this did hit something.
It's definitely a consideration, Octavian. Though there's only so much magic an item can take before it will destroy itself, usually. But we could definitely try. Palmar would probably be good help for that, along with my smithing.
Yeah. I know it's a big ask because it could be used for help or someone else, but even if it kills me, I need to destroy this thing. So, and you can see the sort of pain in Octavian's face as he's talking about this. You know, to him, sort of, he was saying, to me, this making sure that thing is destroyed is more important than dealing with Strahd.
Sigma will nod, and he goes, "Well, you have a monster hunter. I hunt monsters."
He sort of just nods and he gives like a sort of half smile.
Sigma will pat the side of Octavian's arm, and it's very similar to the way Octavian supports Sigma, but it's more akin to Sigma's lithe, and like he can't grab Octavian the same way Octavian's able to just sort of like grab both his shoulders.
Yeah.
The long, sort of monstrous clawed hand sort of placed gently on Octavian's shoulder, as just a small nod.
Just sort of nods his head in return, sort of gives him like that half smile. Just thank you. Yeah. That was an interesting bit of information.
Yeah, interesting.
Right.
Okay, so we arrive at the.
Yep, you arrive at the Burgomaster's mansion.
We arrive at Palin Vic's Laboratory of Magic and Science.
Yep.
Knock knock. Avon calling.
The door opens, and you see a maid there sweeping with a broom.
Hello.
Oh, welcome. Master Victor is upstairs. Lord Palmar is around somewhere. And then, as she says that, the broom goes, Palmar, you're the greatest, in Greed's voice.
Oh
Ah.
no! Probably loud enough where Palma will be able to hear from wherever he is. He just hears Palma.
Yes.
You bastard! I'll barrel past Sigma, and I'm just gonna run into him with arms open wide.
Very good.
You clever bastard!
And he, as you hug into him, he sort of looks at your hair critically and just sort of nods and goes, Good job, group. You've at least kept his hair in order. If it was up to him, it would be a right mess.
What are you talking about? It still looks like a mess. I look back at Sigma. No offense.
He knows
Even
better
just-
how you like it.
Katia will lean over to Octavian. I've never seen Greed like that.
Yeah, this is Palmar Greed's bodyguard and friend.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
came here together. Palmar's his hired muscle.
Huh.
Yeah.
Greed was very how do I put this? How do I put this delicately? Useless
They
when he
love-
first got here.
Yeah.
He's saying it's loud
quickly-
enough for Greed to hear.
She quickly covers her mouth to hide a laugh.
Greed is probably not even paying attention. He's just yapping away to Palma. It's like he's catching
The whole adventure. Yeah.
all of the gossip.
Yeah.
Like
I'm so sorry.
he's asking for like
No.
all of the details of what he's been working on. He's just yap.
As the maid walks away, you see that she leaves the broom behind and it just keeps sweeping by itself.
Octavian's gonna look at
Oh my
Palmar and
God.
go, "Is that the broom?"
Of course.
Yeah, but Octavian just laughs and leans over at Katia and go, "That broom almost killed Greed."
What?
I don't wish to remember that. Thank you very much.
Oh, I would love to hear the story.
I can't believe you actually gave it my thoughts, Palma.
Oh, I needed someone to congratulate me on my good work, and who better than you?
Oh, you
Oh.
know exactly what to say. I've missed you.
Yeah. Yes, and Palma looks over at the armor.
We brought you something to take a look at, Palmar.
Excuse me, Greed.
Octavian's gonna sort of reach up to the suit of armor and just lift the helmet up and go, "Look, it's empty,"
Let's see.
and put the head, and he's gonna put the helmet back on it before it
I'm
turns around and
level
punches him.
6, so I'm gonna.
7,
You know,
aren't we? No,
No,
6.
you're 6. Yeah.
God
I'm gonna
damn
give
it.
Palma his. Considering what he's been doing, I'm gonna give him his level up in Artificer and see if it gives me any useful stuff.
I'm still 2 levels off of flying creatures.
But Palma will look over it and give it an Arcana check. And
I'll assist gladly. But
really, Palma, that's the best you've got.
I will guidance him as well.
Yeah,
Damn
I'll
it.
re-roll that. Palma, you're meant to be good at this thing. That's literally your job. That's better.
Sigma will lie and say Greed is the one who figured out the command word and insisted we come and show it to you.
Yeah.
He's gonna slowly turn around Sigma.
Oh.
Yes, I did.
I didn't. Well, I'm glad you thought of me. This is very interesting. I definitely want to spend some time studying this, but I should probably show you the main thing I've been working on, and it's not brooms. Follow me.
Oh, thank God.
And
I wonder if we could hook a cannon up to his arm.
why is my stairs not working?
They work for me.
Oh, it did. It
Might
just,
maybe
if you
be fine.
drag, it didn't. I think I might have dragged over the active thing. Wait. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay.
Ninja
So they don't have
power for a
permission.
moment.
Well, there.
And they lead you into the room with a mirror.
Ooh.
I can't go up
So-
the stairs.
Don't drag, use the arrow keys. Don't
Yeah.
know why.
The
Yeah,
animated armor didn't come with me, even though it's following
Yeah.
me. But
yeah, it failed to go up the stairs. It seems a lot of things failed to go up the stairs for some reason.
I
on this.
will carry the suit of armor up the stairs.
and Katia, you can. Oh yeah, you can't really see what's going on in the.
James, instead of coming into the room with the mirror, Octavian's going to go to the library,
Okay.
which was here.
Yeah.
And he's just going to start pulling down books, trying to find anything about the Thanes.
Yep. Okay. So whilst you're doing that, Almar will explain how this mirror works, because they now have a full understanding. Did you get left behind, Katia, or is the map not working for you? Or lagging really
The map
badly?
is not working for me. It's lagging really, really bad.
I'll take you up
I-
there, and then hopefully it will
Thank you.
load for.
I'm gonna reload the page too, just really.
Yeah, we need to get you a new computer. Right. So
Make sure.
this mirror, Palmar takes on an almost what's the right word? It's almost like a professor-like role, like almost like he's about to give a lecture. So this mirror here is known as a spirit mirror. Depending on the moral disposition of the user, it can summon an evil spirit or a good spirit. But either way, it will summon a spirit assassin. Essentially, you can give this spirit an order, and it will go and kill that creature. It will know the distance and direction to the target, and will attack any other creature that tries to prevent it. And once it does its task, it disappears. Cannot target the dead or undead, though.
And why can it communicate with people?
It seems that this mirror, because of its spiritual nature and the fact that it's tied directly to this plane of existence, when a certain person's name is spoken into it whilst touching it or being near it, it can alert them and they can choose to appear. But should you try other, and it's odd, as we saw previously with Misha, it seemed to show a different version of them, like a younger version, or maybe more of an alternate reality version. That bit I haven't yet worked out, but I believe that this mirror might be able to reflect not just this plane of existence, but other planes of existence as well, like a reality where Misha didn't become what they are somehow.
Mhm.
Or possibly. My research into this and looking through records suggests that this mirror is very old, far older than this house, and far older than it should be. So it's possible that there's some sort of chronological shift that's happening,
Mm.
causing some disparities. So perhaps rather than reflecting a different space, it's reflecting a different time in some cases.
How is this possible?
Well, magic is a strange, wondrous, and fascinating thing, which much study has been done into by the greatest wizards, artificers, sorcerers, druids, and spellcasters in general, to the point that almost anything is possible, providing it doesn't break the rules. And the rules of magic are far and few between. And this is probably stuff Palmar's picked up by reading, not stuff they would have necessarily known. It seems that there was once a god of magic who died, and then said god of magic came back as a new god of magic and put on certain rules, such as limiting magic that most can wield to 9 levels of magic, rather than what some used to be able to cast up to 13th or higher.
Sigma will look at Palmar and Greed and go, you know how Palmar can identify things?
Yep.
Sigma will go, would that work on me?
Possibly. You would be an arcane construct of some kind, so I'd imagine I'd get some information. What exactly are you looking for?
I don't know.
Well, and Palmar will go, well, let's find out, shall we? And they're going to shuffle away this carpet, revealing a magic circle underneath. Stand in the magic circle, please.
Sigma looks at it and looking at it for a second, you would see trepidation. And he goes, last time I was in one of these is the first time I woke up.
Well, let's see if we can find out a bit more about this process. This is. Well, the identify spell itself normally only requires a pearl and an owl feather. But for a particularly powerful version of this, or without wanting to use too much, I can do rituals, and I pre-prepared this circle in case I needed it. I just need to activate it, which will take some time, but it should also give me some additional information beyond what Identify normally can do. If I had a more valuable pearl, then I could probably do more, or if I could make the circle a pearl dust. But he points at the wedding dress, which has been torn apart. I got as much pearl essence as I could from that dress, but yeah, wasn't enough. Some rich people just don't know how to wear pearls. But yes, the rest of you, especially the suit of magic armor, might want to leave the room just in case your magic items, magic essence, etc., affects the spell.
Katia will leave at that.
Yep. The armor will, I guess Sigma would tell the armor to step outside.
Yeah.
And Greed, are you heading outside or are you going to stay?
I mean, am I allowed to stay?
You can. Palmar looks and goes, I have factored in Greed being present whilst this spell is cast, so you can stay. Because I would suspect that you'd want to see, just keep your distance.
I'm just curious that leaving you on your own has been beneficial. Because if not, you have to come with us.
Well, I haven't been completely on my own. That Victor lad has been helpful somewhat, but being on my own in a relatively safe place is different than being on our own while climbing into a coffin maker's full of vampires. But
Very true.
it seems like you've managed to cope well without me and even managed to pick up a replacement.
Greed just snips. It's been awful.
Yeah, it's fine. I've actually got a present for you later, but and no, it's not the broom.
Thank
Though it is
God.
related to the broom in a weird way. But anyway, Palmar will pull out a pearl monocle and put it over their eye and begin preparing to cast the Identify spell.
Yeah, Sigma sits down in the middle, like on his knees, like
Yes. Right. Now, this shouldn't hurt, but if it does, I apologize. I've actually done this on a living creature before. Did try on myself once, but that didn't work. Hard to see yourself through your own eyes. So it takes a while. You're sitting there for at least 10 minutes.
What was in the fridge? Somebody be home tonight?
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
And as they begin to cast this spell and it begins to take effect, Sigma, you enter a trance-like state and find yourself in a room in your mind. In this room, there are 20 doors, 4 of which are larger than the rest, and then one which is smaller yet somehow more elaborate and more impressive and covered in a floral pattern. Each of these doors has a name on it, but most of those names have faded apart from 4 of them. These, of course, being the 4 predominant spirits: Ophelia, Pieter, Daniel, and Hohenheim. As you sit there and the elaborate floral door opens and in walks in a very familiar figure wearing a red hat with long hair the same color as your fur. They walk up, steeple their fingers whilst looking at you. Stand.
He will do so.
As you do so, they walk around observing you, almost inspecting you. They even walk close and, for example, lift up your arm or move your lips aside slightly or even look into your ears. And be like, It seems you're still physically in one piece, even in the spiritual realm. That's good. It seems that the experimentation has not yet caused any degradation of the core aspect that is your soul. However, they look around the rooms. It seems like, at least partially, there is some degradation to the parts, if not the sum. That might cause further issues down the line, but interestingly, they turn you around and point at another door, a 21st door. Except this one is the smallest of all and is marked by 2 crossed blades. When we initially created you, Sigma, or Experiment Sigma 9, should I say, that door didn't exist. However, since you have been in this strange land, that door has come into being. With each encounter, with each conversation, with each important choice that you've made, this door has, whilst not yet grown in size, has grown in importance. Much like my own, it is a fragment of a fragment at best. But it's just because it's small doesn't mean it's insignificant, as I'm sure you understand. This door is you. What is beyond that door, I don't know. I'm not sure I like the idea of it, but it is an interesting side effect that perhaps the culmination of souls is not just forming a sum of the parts, but creating something new entirely.
I see.
Yes. And considering you have now reached this stage of curiosity about yourself, it seems you have developed more of a sense of self than we previously would have anticipated. And I'm curious as to where exactly this will stem, and if it will be for the better or the worse. As such, should you wish to, I have unlocked the door to this soul space. You can now enter a trance-like state over a period of, say, 4 hours, and enter this realm almost as if dreaming, but still remaining at least somewhat aware of reality. This will allow you to interact with the parts of your mind or soul more directly. And it's possible that eventually that door, as small as it might be, might become large enough that you can fit through and truly find out who you have become. And in a way, I both dread and look forward to that result.
Hmm.
But
I
for
see.
now, as I have you, I'm curious, of the four main doors that still make up a strong part of your soul, which of the doors would you like to open?
Hmm. So that is. Sorry, it's been a bit since I've looked at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. Probably. I'd either select Ophelia or Hoenn. So
Okay. Take your pick. Either one works.
I think Hohenheim is probably the best to start with.
Okay. As you decide on that, that door opens, and the area you're in seems to fade, and you now find yourself in an arcane research lab with various blackboards and arcane sigils everywhere, and the figure turns to you. Experiment Sigma 9. What do I owe the visit?
I don't quite understand. My acquaintance, friend, ally is trying to help understand exactly the way that the ritual that created me came to be.
Ah, an
And
interesting one.
I thought that you might have some answers.
Yes. So, as you're aware, you are the product of multiple souls that were combined to create a new body, or what's the right term? A new soul capable of inhabiting the artificial body that we constructed using various monster parts to try to create perhaps not the ultimate hunter, but one close to becoming one. Should we perfect the formula? The previous 8 in your line were, frankly, disasters, misshapen monstrosities that were put down. You, on the other hand, he indicates a magic sigil on the board. We used a newly developed arcane sigil, a more powerful one with more complex components. Perhaps more powerful than we intended, it did not just remove the trapped souls of those who had volunteered for the experiment. it also removed the souls of those performing the experiments, such as myself. And it is theorized, or at least I theorized whilst in here, that it is that very number of souls that allowed you to come to be. As you've seen outside, I'm sure, many parts of that soul have degraded to the point where the names are forgotten, even to other parts of yourself, such as myself. And honestly, to some extent, whilst our doors are still intact, I suspect that eventually they will degrade over time as well. This being because you didn't get the entire soul of any one person who became part of you. You gained fragments, enough to build a soul, but not enough to sustain it for indefinitely. Does that explain anything, or do you have more detailed questions you'd like answered?
I think very clearly the idea of losing these other parts of themselves is something that is stressful to Sigma. I think Greed and Palmar would see like this discomfort with the idea. Is that thing in here the real Dahlia?
That is an interesting question. I've considered it myself, but unlike Pieter or Daniel, I'm unable to communicate with them. They only seem to directly speak to you, but when they do, we parts of you can't hear her. My current hypothesis is that she is a mental image conjured up by you and projected onto a part of the self that has been constructed. Almost, I suppose, if what would be the right term? He seems to ponder for a moment. I suppose in an odd way, she could almost be considered a slight embodiment of your own superego. Defining what you consider, because of her teachings, what's right and what's wrong. And so when you go against those teachings, as a response, your body conjures her up to berate you because you feel that is what she would do if she was there, and you feel it's what you deserve. Of course, that's just a hypothesis. It could be that she is that, but also is a fragment of a soul, smaller than any of the other pieces, yet because of her significance to you, has been held in place much better than any of the others.
Is there anything that you, Hohenheim, have hidden from me or want to tell that you thought might be dangerous?
Well, I suppose our major worry was, as you're aware, you are Experiment Sigma 9. You are part of a series, but you are, or were, depending on the results, supposed to be the last attempt on the Sigma line of experimentation. We were worried how you'd react should you find out about the next project, feeling perhaps that if you felt like you were being replaced, that might unlock some primal instincts from some of the parts that comprised you.
I see.
Dahlia was very insistent that should the Sigma 9 experiment form a living creature, they should never find out about the Omega 1 project. The details of which, unfortunately, this part of me doesn't seem to know much more other than the name, and that it was a different approach to creating a perfected hunter.
I see.
I hope that answers your question. And I hope that... Now, I suppose at this point I should give you some form of comfort. That seems the proper thing. He pauses for a moment and then puts a hand on your shoulder. You've done a good job, Sigma. And I'll call you that, as that's what your allies seem to call you. So, in a way, it's your identity, even if it's not fully a sense of self as of yet. Do not worry about the degradation of parts of the souls that comprised you. This would be something of concern if it did not seem like somehow you are constructing a new soul of your own. Perhaps myself and the other named parts will remain part of that for a long while yet, but as those parts fade, I think it's more not so much them parts of you falling away, it's those parts becoming part of who you truly are, and those fragments being able to be released onto the next life. Or at least that's my hopes, at least. But now, I think he pulls out a pocket watch. That's our time up, I'm afraid. And he clicks it and you wake up. And Palmar looks over you and goes, well, how to explain this? Because obviously they've been casting Identify whilst you've got awareness of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you're, in a way, a complex form of something known as a soul cage. Essentially, when a humanoid dies, a soul cage snatches the soul and traps it until it's used up but it seems that you have at least 20 pieces inside you.
Hmm.
So, but rather than being full souls, it seems like they're fragments forming a soul. The difficulty of this being, and probably the most dangerous part of this, is should you die, assuming your body is capable of that, seems to be, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to come back. Not easily, anyway. Because it wouldn't, most resurrection spells call back the soul, but this would be calling back multiple souls or fragments of souls at once. So I'm not quite sure how that would work. But revival magic is not in my wheelhouse. No, I could probably build a metal replica of you, but that's probably not what you want to hear. Yeah. What do you think, Reed? Do you think fragments of souls in a body could be pulled back to bring them back from the dead should they need to?
Can I actually make an arcana on that?
Sure.
Ooh. I could probably give it quite a good guess.
Yeah. So I would say based on that, you feel it would be difficult. Not impossible though. It just might take some additional effort, I'll say.
Probably multiple different types of magic.
Yes. Yeah, and that's. I will say that as you're considering this, your amulet does flare up slightly.
Does flare up.
Yeah, so it like lights up just briefly for a moment, just enough for you to notice, I would say. It's like a heat on you more than a light.
There may perhaps be a way to separate the souls within you, but I mean, I have to ask, but what's going to happen to you once that does happen? That's my real question.
I don't know. He looks at Palmar and goes, "You can use this to see someone, right? You say their name?"
There's the potential it will work for some. I mean, it mostly works for a certain someone, but possibly it might work for you if the connection's strong enough.
And it would have been fine if Katia had come back in the room and stuff if she wanted to.
Yeah. Now that Palmar will call out, Katia, you can come back in. The main part's done.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't mean to keep you outside for so long. Just wasn't sure how this would.
Oh, no,
work,
it's fine. I know magic can be finicky. You don't want to take any risk.
Yeah, I've blown up a few things trying to get that damn broom to talk in the right tone. I just couldn't get the condescension right. It's so hard.
Sigma will put his hand and not saying the assassin command word, using the other side of it, the possible peering side, I guess.
Yeah.
He will go, Lady Dahlia, Amaranth, Night, a light brand.
Okay, roll me a D100. Because this is a chance-based thing.
Okay.
The mirror, for the briefest of moments, seems to take the shape of a familiar figure in the reflection. And there is a strange glow to them, but then the image fades. It seemed Palmar goes, yes, that's the result I've had when I've tried it on a few other names. You can occasionally get a glimpse, but it's rare you get an actual distinct thing. I mean, I've tried it for greed multiple times, but kept getting a guy called Glory. It's weird. Yeah, but he's saying I asked for greed in the mirror, but I kept getting this guy named Glory for a brief moment.
Oh my god.
Would
Sounds like a bastard.
Yeah.
Could I try Experiment Omega 1?
Yep, you can give that a go. Roll me that D100 again. Okay, this time. How to describe this? This time, you don't necessarily see a complete figure. You see what looks like a completely featureless, almost devoid of shape, almost like a mannequin, almost, but clearly made of actual flesh. Clearly human, or at least humanoid, covered in various scars. The most predominant of one appears to be over the heart area, where you can see a faint blue glow.
Hmm.
Actually, wait. Let me just redo that. Purple glow. Purple.
I see. Have I ever seen anything like this? Even at the edge of my eye, or being attempted to be hidden from me in my past?
No. You've perhaps seen at best sketches on whiteboards of like but nothing of a completed like actual physical figure. And this image again only stays for a few moments. It becomes more distinct and more obvious than the previous attempt, but again, it's almost like the odds of it, like it hasn't quite worked enough to fully show it.
Hmm. Well, thank you, Palmar. Agreed.
No worries. I mean, it's what I'm here for. I've been working on various things, and they give they reach into their pocket and give Greed a hairbrush.
For me?
Yes, it's specially enchanted. So if you start brushing your hair with it, it will style it the way that I style it.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Well, I thought you need someone to take care of your hair, and I know Octavian does a good job, but he treats you like you're a 6-year-old girl, and well, Sigma's a bit well.
He gets treated as. Oh, I'm not in the room. Sorry.
Yes,
Ignore that, man.
Sigma's doesn't do a bad job from what I've seen, but perhaps isn't the most used to your aesthetic.
It's a good
No
attempt.
offense, Sigma.
It's just not what I'm used to.
Exactly. So that's that. He thinks for a moment, considers a few things, and is just like, yes, I don't have anything else. The broom, working out how this mirror worked, and setting up the defenses of the town, particularly the alarm monkeys. Those took a while. I like the alarm monkeys, though.
We could maybe use your help. We've come into a great deal of silver, and between you, Misha, our new friend Katia, and myself, we may be able to consecrate some weapons at some point.
Well, that's certainly a possibility. And I'm going to briefly, Octavian, roll me an investigation check.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not very
unfortunately, you do not find anything.
good.
And I'm going to say it's probably as you realize that and leave to probably return to the group, or which I assume is what you do.
Yep.
There is a loud and firm knock on the front door. And that is where we shall end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Oh boy.
Just what we always wanted. Just what
Let
we always
me-
wanted. Some knob knocking on the door. I mean, what?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so
I think we're in trouble.
yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the session.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was nice.
Thank you very much, James.
No
Yes,
problem.
thank you.
All right, and we should be back next week, unless Cam's already stopped the stream. If you stop the stream, before I do my
You haven't done the
Okay.
sign off.
yeah. So yeah, I was just checking. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. But of course, join us tomorrow for Icewind Dale. Not this Sunday for Icewind Trekkers, as we're taking a break. Monday for the Jumping Junipers, and as I said, we're back next Tuesday.
Yay.
Bye for now.
See you next Tuesday.